Lonely as the Night by Billy Squier. This is from his 1981 album, Don't Say No. And this is such a great song, such a classic rock, just excellent rock song. And Billy Squier just had a knack for writing these sort of songs. Super catchy, hard rock, melodic, you know. He's just really, really talented writer. And the guitar solo was played by a guy called Kerry Sheriff, or Sheriff. And I looked and looked all over the place. I couldn't find any information on this guy at all, because this, in my opinion, is just an awesome solo. I never really paid that much attention to it until I started, you know, studying it for this lesson. And then I just thought, whoa, that's really good guitar playing. Really, really cool. And again, very Zeppelin-esque. In fact, the last lick of that solo, I'll go over that in depth. And I'll show you exactly where I think he got that from. Anyways, let's get into it. To me, probably the coolest part of the song is the intro. I mean, how cool is that? That is so great. I love that part. And before I get going on that, I've using my Kemper profiling app, and I've got a profile made by a guy called Top Jimmy, and it's a 1974 Marshall Super Lead. All right, and I've got some delay on it at 100 milliseconds, like a slapback. All right, so we're going to start that lick. We're going to hammer on the B string, 2nd fret to 4th fret, and we're going to hit the open B and the open E. And you'll see a lot of guys sliding that. You could do that if you want, but I watched quite a few videos, and Billy definitely is hammering that on. So we're going to hit that E string again and slide that down. Those are all picked. And we let that low E string ring while we start the lick again. And we're just going to end it there while that low E string rings. A little vibrato on it. Now we're going to repeat it to that part. I'm going to go just a hammer on from A2 to A4 to D2. And now we're going to do this cool sort of rockabilly lick, and we're going to go. And I go 1st finger, 2nd finger. You could just slide that in if you wanted, but I like to go. And then we've got A2, open E, and an upstroke on B and E strings. Okay, so the whole lick. That is great, great lick. And then the song starts, and we're just going to come up here. And I had my volume down a little bit for that. I had it about 5, so I'm going to come up all the way. And we're just going to come up to this E chord. And we don't want to fret it like that. You know, a lot of times rock players will fret stuff like that, because we absolutely don't want that 3rd in there ever at all. You know, we just don't want that. So we're going to fret it with our 3rd and 4th fingers and 1st finger on E7 or A7 and the open E, of course. And we're kind of muting out the high strings. So that's an upstroke while we just bar on the 7th, and we're going to definitely just hit the G string. Don't hit the B string there. You definitely just want to hit from the G string back. A chord, and then we go just that Keith Richards suspension. I like to use my little finger. So. All right, and then, you know, the verse starts, the singing goes, and eventually we get out of that. And we get to the next section. Now, when the drums come in, there's another guitar on the right channel that just holds on to that lick. So he goes. Okay, so it's just a little bit different than the main guitar. So coming into the next section, so we've got a B power chord again. Don't want those thirds or the high E. So no B, no high E. And then we're gonna play this. It's an A sus2. So what I do is I actually mute out the A string and the E string. So I'm just getting right the D string, the G string, open B, open E. Because the bass is covering that A and I don't want to muddy that up. I think that sounds better. And it's twice on each one. 1, 2, 1, 2. Back to the B. And into an E power chord. And we're going to add this in. Just that suspended fourth. Repeat it. Now we're going to change key. We're going to jump modulate up to D. Just play a D power chord. And then we've got a C sus2. And I'm adding that G note there. And then a G power chord. Muting out the A. And then we're going to hit this full E chord. I'm not sure if he's doing this or not, but I'm hitting the whole thing. I'm just open E string, or open B string and open E string. So that whole second section. And while the main guitar is doing that, there's a lot of other things going on. There's another guitar that's doing kind of the same thing, but it's just holding those chords, you know, instead of hitting twice, just hitting them once. And then there's another guitar that's going just hitting the B, the A, then F sharp to E. And then in the next section, the only other guitar in there is so that's, instead of going there, we're sliding up to this D-shaped G chord and doing that suspended fourth. And then we're back to this. And then they do another verse, they do another chorus, and then they do that middle bit. Somebody's watching you, baby. No, I didn't include that in my demo. It's just basically an E chord with a couple little rhythmic things. Now we get into the solo. So my demo went from the first chorus to the break. And then I took it right into the solo. Okay, so the rhythm part in the solo is really great. In fact, it could be a song all on its own. So it comes out of this, and we're going to go. Right? That's so good. So Zeppelin-like, right? So we've got, so down on the 3 open strings, 3 low open strings, then we're going to go sliding up to a D7. And then we've got, so that's kind of like a scratch down, scratch up. You know, it's more of a feel part. I mean, you could also go whatever way is best for you. Now, the second time through, he's just going to go, we kind of lose that, we just go. And then we're into it, the next break. And so that's the same, except this time he's kind of going da 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 da. You know, there's definite down up there. And then we've got that cool little lick. So we've got those double stops. I'm going to slide into G13 and B12, down 2 frets, and then we're going to hit the D, the G, and the B on the 9th fret. And then just, you could go there, right? But for me, it's too much movement, so I just, and these chords, you want to hit that third, except maybe the last one. And then we're into the ending, which is really basic, and then that just sort of fades out. Okay, so that's pretty well it for the rhythm stuff. Now let's get into the solo. So for the solo, I'm going to change up my sound a little bit here. I'm gonna increase the delay to 350, 360. Turn the mix down a little bit. It sounds like a lot by itself, but when you get it in context with the track, it isn't, right? It just gives it depth. And I've also turned on this, it's like a tube screamer pedal in the Kemper. And I should have mentioned earlier, but this whole thing I'm doing on my single coil pickups just to give it a little bit extra bite. Okay, so we've got here, that's just a bend on B10 up to B12, and we're getting the D note here with a little finger. A little vibrato on that. Now you could do it here, but I don't get the same sound as I do here. It's much more solid on the B and the E string. So, and I just hit it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, hit, right? On the track, I don't think he does. He just goes. And then, I mean, you know, that is an easy thing to do, but it's so good. It's just so rock and roll. And we just pull that off. And then we've got these licks. So, in that minor pentatonic position. And I'm really digging in with my pick there, you know, trying to get a little bit of pinch harmonic, not really like overt harmonics, but just that sort of, when you dig in, you know. I'm going to finish it off by going just all hammers. 5/7, 5/7D, and then a slide up to D9, and down pick on D7. I'm going to do a 1.5 bend to the G note. So we're kind of let it down a bit and back up. There's a little vibrato. Now we're going to go so we're going to slide in from B10 to B12, which is barring the E string as well, right? That is such a great lick. Like, a lot of guys will do it that way, the Chuck Berry thing, but that's not what he's doing. It just doesn't sound right. It's, and then we're gonna hit this big bend on E15, full step bend, let it down, and then 15B to 17B to 16G, and put some vibrato on that. Now we're going to go, so that's 15B to 17E, and then we're up to 20 with the full step bend, and now he's going to do this Jimmy Page lick. Right? And where he's getting that from, for sure, is a Whole Lotta Love solo. But what he's doing, he's getting that lick, and he's getting that one, and he's sort of making them into one lick. So he's going. So it's sort of like the Whole Lotta Love solo, just sort of, you know, mixed up a little bit. That bend on the 20th, and then chromatically 19, 18, 17, and then we're to 19 on, or sorry, 20 on the B, And we're back up to 17 on the E. And then we're going to pull that off. I mean, you could pick it, but I think I pulled it off. And then we're here, 18 on the G. And we're pulling off from 20 to 17. All right, great lick. And I put a lot of push on that one. And then it slides down. All right, so that whole solo then. And that is just great guitar playing. Kerry Sheriff. Like I said, I looked stuff up on him. I couldn't find anything about him at all. But really, really good guitar player. Anyway, so that's it for this one. I hope you get something out of it. It's really not a difficult song to play, except for the solo's got its moments, right? But all that stuff, it's not too bad. It's more just feel and attitude. This is a real, it's got that real rock attitude. So you really have to sort of channel that rock attitude when you play it. Anyways, I hope you get something out of it. I hope you enjoy playing it. And I'm going to do another Billy Squier song next week probably, or the week after, because he's got one more. Got a bunch that I like, but he's got one more especially that I think is just a fantastic song. And I'm going to go with that. All right, so enjoy this one, and we'll talk to you next time.